On this channel, we like to celebrate the cross-section of animation and circus and juggling. It's not a huge cross-section, but I like it, and it's related to the subject of today's video. Because one major aspect of circus is clowning, donning a personality and exaggerating its traits for comedic or dramatic effect. It's sort of like acting, but also developing a sort of persona of yourself. And one of the absolute goats of clowning and animation is Amethyst from Steven Universe. Amethyst often plays with this in how she uses her transformation patterns throughout the story of Steven Universe, so in the spirit of fun-loving circus, we're looking at every time Amethyst transformed in the OG Steven Universe series and ranking them. Let's start with the classic Cop Amethyst.
Dumb police! You're dumb!
God bless America!
I think this one can go in, I guess it's iconic because it's the first one, but I think Comedy Goddess makes more sense given the context of the moment. Oh, and this brings me to how we're actually going to rank this. S tier is Amethyst is an icon, her most iconic transformations, or just Amethyst being an icon. Look, this is fun, don't scrutinize this too much, okay? Number 2 is Comedy Goddess. A lot of Amethyst fusions are good just because they're so funny. It's not necessarily that the design is crazy or anything, but the moment in the show gives it a lot of impact. Next up is
Amethyst!
This is for some of Amethyst transformations that would make Pearl shriek. If you're familiar with the show, you might already know a few that are gonna go in here. Next is Functionalism. Necessary and cool because it's helpful, but not really noteworthy in any other way. And lastly, Background Vibes. It's just a normal thing. It's nothing special. Anywho, back to the list.
What the? Whoa! What is with this cat?
Amethyst Cat one, Comedy Goddess. You guys got. What are you gonna say?
Oh, it's no big deal, Dad. Yeah, it's fun.
Okay, so I'm actually gonna put this in
Amethyst!
And even though Greg didn't react at this time because it was early in the show and I don't think that this part of the writing had been fleshed out, we do find out later that Greg really doesn't like Amethyst transforming, so her transforming into his kid so casually right in front of him is probably actually not a very cool thing to do.
Amethyst!
How would you feel about the philosophy of just somebody with transformation powers transforming into you? I feel like for me that would like almost cross a boundary, you know? Because you know they could, but if they do it, it makes you kind of wonder, like, can I trust them not to do that in other places, in other contexts? I don't know. I wouldn't want anybody transforming into me. Get Ditto out of my Pokemon universe. That shit creepy.
Do more! Check it out.
All right, so in order, I feel like this, even though I like the designs of the seal and the wolf, they really are just functional to like kind of demonstrate to Steven that she knows how to transform. Whoa. Right now you might be wondering what actually counts as an Amethyst transformation, because she does a lot of shape-shifting in this show, and maybe not everything that we thought of right off the bat is actually going to be on here. Things that I will not be counting are when Amethyst just augments her own body or transforms herself into another version of herself, such as in her wrestling form in the Tiger King episode, or
I saw Tiger, now I understand.
Tiger Money? Tiger Mob? What was the name of that episode again? And I also won't be counting when she augments just a part of her body. I'm also not counting fusions, and I'm also not counting injuries. And as I said before, we're just doing transformations from the OG Steven Universe series, so not from Steven Universe Future, the movie, or any other comic books or commercials or anything like that. Okay, that's it for rules. Onward we go.
Well, of course I can. I'm perfect. Womp womp!
Funny enough, I actually put Pearl in Comedy Goddess. You'd think that she would go in
Amethyst!
No, because Pearl doesn't seem very upset by it. It's chill.
All gems have shapeshift powers, Steven.
And yet here I am doing a tier list of Amethysts. Maybe y'all should use those powers a little more. Maybe you'd get a tier list. She goes up in Comedy Goddess.
Whoa!
Amethyst, you're overdoing it.
Chill it, dude!
And this one, I'm putting right up in Amethyst as an icon because this is actually a reference to another show. This is a design that is reminiscent of Mordecai from the regular show. This transformation is a neat little Easter egg, and she's just so cute when she sits on Steven's head. I love it.
Oh, I know it'll be great, and I just can't wait to see the person.
Shark, Comedy Goddess. Sorry, Pearl. She gotcha.
Which way to the baby war?
Baby War?
Eat shred, dirtbags!
Amethyst!
You know what? I don't remember the context of this one, so to me this sounds shocking out of context, so I think it fits right here. You know, because Amethyst became a baby for the baby war. Don't ask any questions.
Check it out, B-Day boy. I'm a tiny car. Beep, beep. Pinata time.
This one is major background vibes, and as is the pinata, to be honest. These were very, very sad and desperate attempts to try to stop Steven from potentially aging to death right in front of their very eyes, because he figured out his aging powers, at least that they existed. And so this was the best Amethyst could do, okay? She was under pressure. What do you expect?
It's not working.
Oh, that's easy.
Dogcopter, incredible work, Amethyst. Spot on. Looks amazing. We love ourselves Dogcopter. But with the boombox!
Who needs to go see movies when you got magic?
What are you thinking? What is this amalgamation of horror? Come on, Amethyst. Stay in the Dogcopter lane. Okay? Us hardcore fans hate to see adaptations of source material. That's why we're doing the OG list. The baseball bat, I couldn't even find what scene this was, so I'm putting it in background vibes. It was just a baseball bat, and I didn't even know, so whatever.
My move.
Oh, yes! That was uncalled for, Amethyst.
The racket was functional. You know, it was used for that little bit, the cool trick, so nothing more special than that. Now, you might think the ball would be in background vibes, but here's the thing.
Amethyst, turn yourself into a ball.
Okay.
Look at the scene that the ball is involved in.
Ball Amethyst to the net and then hold on.
Amethyst owns being that ball.
Hit Amethyst into the air as hard as you can.
With pleasure.
It's not just about being the ball, it's about being the perfect team member. That whole scene could not have happened. That whole moment would not have been won had it not been for Amethyst.
Be gentle.
I'll try.
And how she interacts with the gems during that whole scene. Is actually just so much fun. It's one of my favorite transformations that I remember throughout the whole show.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you're so sensitive.
Oh, Greg. Oh, Amethyst. We're putting this at the bottom. At the bottom of...
Amethyst!
And that's because what's about to go to the top.
I bet you'd stay for her.
You wouldn't.
What? Do this?
One of... I almost actually want to put this in iconic, truth be told. So just kind of imagine that I do consider this, like, S tier. But it's obviously the most, like, wow, I can't believe you did that.
Hey, Greg. Turn around.
I can't even put this in S tier because it's like such a horribly uncool thing for her to have done. Like, I don't want to give her credit. You know what? Oh yeah, do that again. You know, we don't want to encourage that kind of behavior. Oh wow, dude, Steven saw that too, and then you got lectured by Steven.
I get it. It's hard to deal with stuff from the past. You want to put it off because there's tons of it, and it's really heavy, and
I love it when adults get lectured by really smart kids. Let's do a couple I couldn't find the videos for real quick. The fly.
Things that I will not be counting are when Amethyst just augments her own body.
This is just a reference to The Fly, and I remember it being a funny scene even though I couldn't find the clip, so I'm gonna put this in Comedy Goddess at the bottom. I couldn't find the clip for this owl, but I'm actually putting this one in iconic because even though I don't remember the clip, I remember this design so clearly. It was a purely aesthetic choice that Amethyst did, and it's pure vibes, pure cool, so I'm doing it. If this list doesn't make sense to you, I don't care. I'm doing this for fun. That's what clowning in Circus is all about. I'm gonna go with functionalism for lion. It's just lion. Even though there was a pun involved, and I do remember that there was a pun involved.
I'm just trying to lion the mood. Lion the mood.
It's for the pun.
Who wants donuts? I do. Maybe just one. Great. It's on me.
We'll do Lars for functionalism, though. I'm sure that she just turned into Lars to make fun of him for a second.
Hey, donut girl. It's me, donut boy.
We're picking on Lars, okay? That's low-hanging fruit. You know what I mean? That's a functionalist joke. You're just doing that to fill space.
Okay, maybe it's a problem.
Same with Peridot, I think.
But it's such a significant use of energy compared to the output.
I'll put Peridot at the top, though, because Peridot's at least awesome.
Pretty impressive in my opinion, but it's hard to beat the original.
Ronaldo, however...
Hey, Dad, I'm back. Blog, blog, blog.
That was really good.
Thanks.
That's a background character. Yeah, we're adding to the Ronaldo hate. I just think it's funny. I'll absolutely jump on a train just because there's people on it. I like people. That's all I care about. It's funny. So I could find this scene, but I could only find a crappy YouTube edit where it did this.
Let's build a moat. I could be...
Interior crocodile alligator.
No.
But this is an iconic comedy goddess moment.
I drive a Chevrolet movie theater.
And also, you might see that and think, wait a minute, this is breaking your rule. You said that you wouldn't do an augmented Amethyst, the fly.
Things that I will not be counting are when Amethyst just...
But this is like one of the most iconic... I'm sorry, this is one of the most iconic transformations. So even though it breaks the rule, I remember this crocodile face and the joke about the moat. I remember that being one of the best moments.
Hey! I'm right here.
Jasper was functional for the plot of the show, in my opinion.
Curse this planet!
No, you're being Jasper. And for Amethyst, there was a whole deal going on with her insecurity in relation to Jasper. So you know what?
Gotta keep a prisoner! For the diamonds.
Jasper.
Such devotion.
Well, we'll put that in.
Amethyst.
Well, all of her controversial ones are of her just being people. That makes sense. Wheelbarrow functionalism. Obviously, you literally were our tool. You became an actual tool.
Looks like we're gonna need one of these.
The plunger hits background vibes because, again, the scene, it was like an unnecessary transformation. Just toilet humor.
She's got a point there, dude.
Not comedy goddess. I don't remember adding Steven again, so let's just do the scene when it was controversial from the build-up for yeah, so there. Pumpkin, adorable, and made their closed-minded uncle super uncomfortable, so that goes right into iconic.
Amethyst was my favorite model. Can you still turn into anything?
Anything but respectable.
Easy top of iconic, especially given the line. She could transform into any of these things.
Anything but respectable.
Goddamn, Amethyst. Goddamn Amethyst.
This is my style. Can I hang with you, dudes?
Centipedal, I'm gonna put this one right here. This is cultural appropriation.
Amethyst, don't make fun.
I'm not.
You don't know about this cave. You can't just be dressing in somebody's clothes because you saw cave painting. That's not cool, Amethyst. It's a joke. Don't go too crazy about what the definition of cultural appropriation is. I'm sure none of us know. Let's not be confident in ignorance.
I've been ready for this.
Get it.
Helicopter would be functionalism, but again, it was just such a clutch moment.
No time for feeling horrible. We have to catch Peridot before she contacts Yellow Diamond.
I'm gonna put it hilariously right below Dogcopter. You know what? No, I'll put it above Dog, because Dogcopter is iconic because Dogcopter is iconic, but Amethyst is so clutch for this moment. We know the limitations of fusion. She became a fully functional helicopter that actually could fly. Can we just appreciate how insane that is? That's not a normal thing for Amethyst to do.
Bark, bark. I'm a chicken.
Chicken, comedy goddess. Just getting Perry to laugh. Let's go. We all love it. We'll put that up here. You know what? Let's put that up here. Just about as funny as Police Brutal. Next scene.
Excellent. Amazing. Perfect.
This Pearl is the one that I actually think was mildly not cool because she was... Look, Amethyst did teach a good lesson. Being in the flow is very important.
You can't be ready. What you gotta be is loose.
I want to be loose.
Sir, this is super related to circus arts, actually. When you're learning to juggle or learning to do a flow state, learning to be in
The flow.
and react and, experience the moment is super important. That's a good life philosophy, too. However, that doesn't mean that it's not also important to be organized and intentional with how you learn and make sure that things like form are better, because then your training will be enhanced. and it'll be easier for you to recognize how to enter a flow state because you've actually done more refined practice. And I love how that episode illustrates both of those contexts.
My stance is all wrong, and my grip is a little soft.
What are you worried about that little stuff for?
So even though I thought Amethyst was a good teacher, I think that in this particular moment, she showed a weakness in her teaching style. And
Amethyst!
Come on, you're teaching kids. You need to be a better example. Functionalism, but one of the best kinds. Yeah, just for the vibes. You know, it's simple. It's good. Simple's good. Simple does not always have to be a bad thing. D tier is not always bad. Sometimes D tier is exactly what you want. You don't need an iconic moment for every moment. You know what I mean? There's balance in life. Much like this moment, which is just a sweet moment between Amethyst and Paradox. Almost technically as impressive as the helicopter, to be honest, but it was a lower key moment, so we don't need to put it up there.
Down for a little horsing around.
And number one most iconic, saved the best for last.
Giddy up.
And shout out to all of my Centaur World fans who also thought that this weirdly reminded them of Horse from Centaur World, like, so closely.
Psst, it's me. I'm a horse.
And here you have it, the final tier list. Every single transformation with a huge caveat, and also I probably forgot some. Please let me know in the comments if you liked this list, which ones you would have put where, if there are any that I forgot, and where you would have put the ones that I forgot on that list. And let me know if there's any other silly things like this you'd like me to visit in the future. We're going to be keeping it pretty circusy from here on out, just because my life has gotten super circusy. Follow me on Instagram at Mr. Knots, because I've been doing a lot with flow arts and circus, and I'm trying to tie it into this, because that's just kind of my life. That's my identity. It's who I am. So let me know if some circusy ideas, whatever. I've done enough comment call-outs. Bye. Have a good one. And shout out to the members. Thank you so much. Much love for supporting the channel. And peace.